Hi, boys and girls. It is the creator of Bored with Miss Reynolds, Better Off Reading Every Day. And I would like to share with you how does your garden grow by taking you behind me to one of the most beautiful places where I live. It is called the Plantingfields Arboretum. I've gone there with my grandma when she was alive. I've gone there with my daughter. I've gone there with my mom. I've gone there with many, many people. And a lot of people find it to be one of the most beautiful gardens on Long Island. Take a trip with me. How does your garden go? This is a little golden book. And this book is by Pat Patterson, illustrated by Brenda Clark and Debbie Perma, back in 1985. An earthworm was crawling along. Suddenly, the earth around him started to crack and crumble in the most alarming way. "Hey, what's going on here?" the earthworm asked himself. He wiggled his long pink body up through the soil to find out. No wonder the earth was moving. Someone was digging with a spade. It was a girl. To the earthworm, she looked very big. The earthworm crawled to a safe corner of the garden. There he was joined by a caterpillar, an ant, and a snail. The girl, whose name was Gaily, dug, hoed, and raked. Her little brother Sebastian helped her. This was the first time Gaily had ever made a garden of her very own. When the earth was ready, Gaily carefully planted some seeds. "It's raining," exclaimed the snail. "I'm going inside my shell to stay dry." "Oh dear," said the caterpillar, crawling under a leaf at the edge of the garden. "When my fuzz gets wet, I look like a worm." "Oh, don't be rude," said the earthworm. "Actually," the ant announced, "it's not raining. The girl is watering the seeds to make them grow." When Gaily finished watering, she tried to roll up the hose. By mistake, she got all tangled up. Later, a flock of birds flew into the garden. The earthworm was afraid of being eaten. He hid in the soil, but the sparrows ate only seeds. To frighten away the birds, Gaily and Sebastian made a scarecrow that fluttered in the breeze. The birds stayed away. "Hooray, the radishes are up," shouted Gaily a few weeks later. "But those are only green leaves," complained Sebastian. "Where are the round, red parts?" "The red parts are under the ground," said Gaily wisely. "They need more time to grow." Later, Gaily dug up a radish to see how big it was. The round red part was too tiny to eat. Gaily put the radish back and packed the earth around it. As the vegetables grew, so did the weeds. Some weeds were harder to pull out than others. Once, when Sebastian pulled one out, he toppled over, just missing the earthworm, the snail, and the caterpillar, and the ant. One day, Gaily discovered some little green bugs on the tomato plants. She went to her mother for advice. Those green bugs are called aphids. Gaily's mother said, they are bad for plants. What a peculiar smell, exclaimed the ant after Gaily and her mother had planted flowers called marigolds around the tomatoes. The little green bugs didn't like the marigold smell. Soon the aphids were gone. Good riddance to the bad rubbish, said the earthworm. How dare you, replied the ant. Some of my best friends are aphids. The argument grew so fierce that they didn't notice anyone coming. But Sebastian saw the stranger. He ran to Gaily. He shouted, there's a tiger in your garden. Sebastian's family knew he sometimes made things sound bigger than they were, but the family was careful just in case. There was no tiger in the garden, just a large ginger cat. Then came the day that Gaily picked many kinds of delicious fresh vegetables. For a while the earthworms rode on the basket. Then Gaily saw him and put him on the ground. The earthworm wriggled back into the garden. As he got there, Gaily and her family gave 3 cheers. The earthworm thought they were cheering for him, but they were really cheering for Gaily and her wonderful garden. Hooray! Look at all that bounty from her garden. Boys and girls, it is Bored with Miss Reynolds, Better Off Reading Every Day. I don't own the rights to this book that I have read to you, but I love storytelling magic, and the magic of today's story is it is all about beautiful gardens. I have with me here a beautiful array of porcelain type pots and watering cans that were given to me long time ago that I wanted to share with you. All different beautiful flowers. There's the bee doing its job. It's Bored with Miss Reynolds, and of course, you know I have to tell you that I'm not a great gardener with indoor plants, but I am a great gardener with outdoor plants. And a long time ago, my ex-husband told me that marigolds always smelled so wonderful and kept certain bugs away, and that stuck with me. So when I found that in this book, I knew I had to read it to you. I love having my own garden. I don't have my own garden outside right now, but I feel like I bring a garden with everything that I wear. I always bring flowers to the party as much as I possibly can. How about you? Do you get to garden? Do you get to plant beautiful flowers? Do you get to watch them from seeds? Do you plant them they've already grown and you just put them in the garden and then they grow from there? How do you grow your plants, boys and girls? Please let me know. I am very curious. I will see you again really, really soon. It has been my absolute pleasure to bring the story, How Does Your Garden Grow? Right now, I am growing a garden right here. I'm growing a garden right here on my blouse and right here on my shoes. Oh yeah, a rose garden, my favorite type of garden when I'm able to have one. See you soon. Oh, such a beautiful place. Right here on good old Long Island, Plantingfields Arboretum. When you get a chance, check it out. You will not be sorry.